Hey, what's up guys, it's Sean, aka Anarchy. Today I have a gameplay for you that's a 12-2 sniping gameplay on Array. I'm playing Search and Destroy. I know I haven't gotten the video out in a while. A lot of things have been happening. I've had camp from 3 to 9 every day, so that's made it really difficult to get things done, especially at my sleep schedule. I don't really like to do anything in the afternoon, and so at night, I like to do my own thing, and I usually wake up late. Basically, I've just been being lazy. I'll be honest with you. It wasn't anything super complex. I was being lazy. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. This is a bit different. This is a guide about how to not procrastinate. I know everyone's kind of, worried about going back to school. I've heard a lot about summer assignments or what everyone's thinking about now, or a lot of people might be thinking about. I don't know if your school has a policy or not of summer assignments. You're probably thinking about that stupid math packet you got to do or the dumb book you got to read. It's a waste of your time and whatnot. And so I'm going to kind of walk you through how to avoid procrastinating on it and having a really shitty last night of summer. Or maybe during the year, if you want some tips on procrastination, whoever's looking this up, maybe this will help you out and help you have a better, more successful year. And I've been kind of on both sides of the spectrum. At the beginning of last year, the first half of the year, I was very on time with all my work and I didn't really procrastinate very much. And I had a great first two semesters of the year. By the time winter break came around, I felt like maybe a month had gone by. It was a really great feeling. I was really proud with how the year was going, and I was looking forward to an easy rest of the year. And then after winter break, I got lazy. I went back to my bad habits and waiting on things till the last minute. And the second 2 quarters of the year were pretty terrible. They were long quarters that I did a lot of work during, and it just wasn't anywhere near as fun as the first 2 quarters had been. So anyway, I'm going to get right into it, not waste too much more of your time. The first tip I have, and this is one of the most important, is to get a planner. And more important than that, use it. Don't just buy a planner and occasionally write things in it. Use it consistently and write down what is due when and when to do what. What I did is I got a really big teacher's planner, literally a big notebook, not just a little crappy thing that they tried to give us that was like maybe a foot tall at most. I got a big planner and I wrote down all my classes and I had all my work planned out. The first half of the year this helped me because I knew what I was doing, and second half of the year I got a bit lazy and I stopped doing things on time and writing as much in the planner, and things started to go downhill. Oh, also, maybe it might not be during the year. You don't need a planner if it's during the summer and you're just trying to organize your summer assignments. But what I would suggest is make a schedule for yourself. Type up what summer assignments you have to do and when you have to do them by. So, for example, if you have a book to read, you say, okay, I'm going to read 50 pages a day or maybe 20 pages a day, and I'm going to have it done by this day, and then hold to it. And that'll make things a lot easier because you have checkpoints to do. And so that leads me to my next tip, which is do your homework early, do it first on a school night, and end on a good note. So basically, homework first, relax later. That's another really kind of important tip. Basically, what the effect of getting your homework done first instead of relaxing first is that it leaves you in a good mood by the end of the night. What I would always do is I would come home and I would go on YouTube and kind of procrastinate on my work for an hour, maybe 2 hours, and this is the second half of my year. And it didn't work out for me. By the end of the night, I always was like, oh my god, I have to go through another day of this tomorrow, and I don't know how I'm going to be able to wake up. But when you get your homework done first, you get it done fast in the beginning of the night, it makes it a lot better because then you have an hour, maybe a half an hour to relax, and you already start feeling better about the night. You start feeling like you really accomplished something and you ended on a good note. Whereas if you relax first, by the time you finished a couple long, hard assignments, or, okay, fine, a couple difficult assignments, by the time you finish all those, you're going to feel like crap, and you're not going to have a good day the next day. So my next tip is basically, if you're planning your stuff and how you're going to do it, and you're going to do it first, get the hardest stuff done first. If it's one homework assignment, get the most difficult, what you anticipate is the most difficult assignment, get that out of the way right away. Because basically what a lot of people end up doing is they say, okay, well, I have this hard assignment and like these 3 really easy things that'll go by fast. So, 3 or 4 easy things. Leave those till the end, because like I've said in my last tip, that ends the night on a good note. And plus, if you get the hardest stuff out of the way first, you have your most focus, you have your most brain power. You haven't been working for like 2 hours and you're not bored out of your mind already, so you're going to do your best job on the stuff that is hardest for you. Then when you get to the easy stuff, it'll go by fast, and it doesn't matter if you're already tired and you're not working your best. If it's easier, you can probably end up, BSing it a bit more and still get it done well, but and get a decent grade. Whereas if you do the easy stuff first and get tired, by the time you get to the really tough assignment, you don't have as much energy. And then also another thing that doing the hardest thing has is if you know that you have a really hard assignment and then the last assignments that you have left to do are 2 really easy things, then you can say to yourself, okay, I've been working a lot, I got this big assignment done, I'll finish one of the 3 assignments, the easy assignments I have to do, and I'll do the rest in the morning or in class or something. And at least then, even though you're kind of procrastinating, at least then you're not leaving the hard stuff till the last minute. You're leaving some easy BS worksheet that you can wrap up real quickly, and you don't have to worry about your time. Next tip is the 15-minute rule. A lot of times you'll get to one of those really hard assignments I'm talking about, and you'll be like, oh my god, I just went through a tough day, I cannot do this, I cannot get to this. What I would suggest, something that really that works for me, is the 15-minute rule. I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but it works. Take out the assignment, look at it, start on it just a bit, and do about 15 minutes of work on it. And if by the end of those 15 minutes you still feel like shit, then maybe it's best to put it down for another night when due later. Because honestly, if you honestly cannot do something, you're not going to do your best work on it, and that's not going to make worth getting ahead of. You want to do your best work whenever you do it. So try doing 15 minutes, and if you find, okay, well, this is not as bad as I thought, it just takes time, then maybe you'll get to like half an hour and 45 minutes, and by the time you've gotten to that point, you've gotten a lot more work done. So the next tip is remove distractions. This is another really, really important thing, and this helped me a lot near the end of the year when I finally realized you gotta get my ass in gear. What I try to do is put myself in an environment where I'm not going to be super distracted, and where I am not going to, honestly get up after 5 minutes of work and start watching YouTube videos. So if you have a book to read, don't sit at the computer and read it. Don't sit in the chair next to the computer. Go upstairs to your room, your living room, wherever it's quiet, and do it away from that distraction. One thing you can do, unplug the TV. So when you go initially and it's like, oh, I've been working, and you press power, you remember automatically, I really shouldn't do this. One thing that I did that helped me a lot is because, well, YouTube was a huge distraction for me because that's when I started watching videos, so I would get on literally every day and check our subscribers, check our views, comment, do whatever I had to for YouTube, and then start watching videos. And I would do that between assignments too. So what I ended up doing is turning off the internet. I unplugged my router. And so whenever I had the temptation to click on the internet, it would come up, page not found, and I immediately remind myself, okay, can't do this, gotta get back to writing whatever it was or reading the book. Find a quiet place to work and use it. Next tip, the second to last, I know this is going overtime, use the class time that you have. I know all of you have a BS class. Maybe you're, a super student and you don't, but you have in between classes, you have before classes. If you have a really easy assignment that you want to get out of the way, get it done in class. Maybe you have a pretty boring class, an easy class, and you have some free time. Don't sit around and take out your phone and start playing games, because what's that going to accomplish? Use your class time. I had a couple easy classes where I had time to use my classwork. Beginning of the year, I got a lot of my homework done during those classes because it takes away those extra easy assignments that you don't think you'll be able to get to, and then you come home and focus on one big assignment, and then you're done. And it makes, because, look at it this way, school is already going to not be productive. If you hate school and you're in a boring class, it's going to be boring either way, whether you're on your phone or you're passing the time with whatever. So if you do some homework, what's the worst it's going to be? It's going to get something done and make your evening better. Alright, so last tip, finally, is use whatever schedule you have to your advantage. This kind of fits in with using class time. But, for example, I have a block schedule. So I have classes 1, 3, 5, and 7 on W days, and on L days, the other days, I have 2, 3, 4, and 6. And basically, you have hour-and-a-half classes. All of them are hour-and-a-half except for 3, and 3 is every day for an hour. And so you have 2 days basically to get the homework done from one class. Use that to your advantage. And that's really why my year started to suck, because beginning of the year, I would get my homework assignments done early. I would finish them the day that they were assigned, and then the next day, if I didn't have too much homework, I wouldn't have to worry about getting some other crap done that I don't really remember. Second half of the year, that wasn't the case, and everything started taking a lot longer, and my weekends got filled up, and it was hard to stay, on track. Now, that's it for the tips. If you ever are in a really bad position, and you cannot do this summer assignment, you don't want to read the book, just think about how other people have it worse. You may have a math packet and a book to read. Well, I have 3 books to read. I have to take notes on 2 of them and heavily annotate the other. I have to do a math packet, 4 physics problem sets, which each take about an hour to 2 hours. I have to memorize a Spanish monologue and then record a conversation separately, so 2 for 1 class. And I have to memorize some music for my music class. So, and I start in 2 weeks. So it could be worse, guys. It could be worse. You could be starting first week of August. You could have 5 more summer assignments. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the commentary, guys. It's something a little different. I promise I'm going to get back on track with making videos. And I have 3 good gameplays coming up for you guys. And I will see you then. If this is on LGU, thanks for allowing me to post. And I'll see you next time. Bye.